They say that you need broken down in order to be built back up into something better. The only way to go from here is to something completely different, because I'm a completely broken person right now, you know. There was this determination that I didn't want to ever be that anymore, because it felt so bad.
I'm going to talk a little bit about myself and why this band exists and how I got over my fear of playing music in front of people.
My name's April Hartman. My band is Apes of the State. We're here to play a kick-ass show at Healer in Indianapolis. Y'all have tickets. I'm making sure because it's fucking sold out. Yeah, they're not letting me in, so I was going to tell you to sneak in the back door. Yeah, so my mom was like, she was really fun. She was kind of like me, very social, party person. And she had a hard time dealing with grief. Her mom passed away when I was about 6 years old, and she just dialed everything up a little bit. She dialed up the drinking, the drug use, the social aspect, everything, and was just like, she was partying a lot, and then it turned into like her partying by herself. She was drinking alone. I remember being a kid and like accidentally taking a sip out of an orange juice when I was a kid, and it wasn't just OJ in the morning, it was OJ and vodka. And like, I told my dad actually, and that's how he found out my mom was drinking in the mornings, was that because I said I tasted mom's orange juice and it was gross, and he's like, what do you mean, you know?
Oh,
hey! I got both of you. Yeah. And can you hold Banjo for a second?
In 2006, I found out that my mom passed away. She had been having a decade-long battle with substance use disorder, and I was 16 years old, and I had little to no coping skills to deal with grief and loss. And I ended up going down the same kind of path as her, and using drugs to hide my feelings, mask my emotions.
It was what I call a spiritual bottom, where like I realized that internally I felt like a void, and I knew that that void couldn't be filled with anything outside of me. Outside of me, it couldn't be filled with sex, love, drugs, drinking. It couldn't be filled with anything. And that I hated myself because of this, because I felt like a void. I felt nothing. And that I knew that the way I got there was by using all those things. So the only thing I could either do at that point was kill myself or try not doing any of that stuff and see what happens.
By the time I was 24 years old, I ended up in rehab here in Lancaster. And in there was a guitar sitting there. And I thought, I might as well pick it up. I got nothing better to do in here. Music was something that I played. I played music when I was little. I played guitar when I was about 10 to 12 years old. But it was one of the many things I lost to my addiction. I never had the confidence. I never thought I'd be able to play in front of people. So there I was in rehab, and there was a music therapist there that played there every day. And he told me his story that when he was 50 years old, he transformed his life through music, and that he'd stayed clean ever since. And I thought, if that old man with white hair could do that when he was 50 years old, I'm 24, there's no way I can't do it if I set my mind to it. And I met his name was Bernard. I want to plug him because he's awesome.
2 years ago, I was sitting on a tiny blue couch in the basement apartment of a college town. The tears rolled out as I started to break down. 'Cause I was lost and I was scared. I was graduating school, and for the first time in my life, I felt so unprepared with no idea what direction I was headed to. And I was trying not to lose my mind. Yeah, I was trying not to lose my mind.
in Albuquerque?
It was fantastic.
Or was it New Mexico?
It was New Mexico.
Carlsbad.
That was Carlsbad.
That was fucking
Mine
sick.
had
And it was
cream
like this
in it.
big. Yeah.
Mine had cream in it. It was literally like this tall.
Like a fucking Red Bull egg cream. That was the freeing thing about getting sober to me, was because it was the hardest, scariest thing I've ever done in my life. And I thought, if I could do that, I can do anything I've ever wanted. That was what I went into recovery with the moment I stepped out of rehab. I realized that I could reinvent myself to be anything I ever wanted. And I wanted to fucking play punk music, so here I am. Find what makes you feel alive and do it with everything you have. Because that was everything for me, was finding that thing. And for me, it was music, you know, and it might change. Like, I find a lot of joy lately in just like going out in the woods with my dogs, you know, and watching them have fun. So like, find whatever that is and just do it with your whole heart. Running, I love running. I do a lot of things that are, you know, coping mechanisms, coping skills. A lot of it is what you found joy in as a child that you used to do before you found drugs and you forgot about. You know, a lot of people did dance or theater or some kind of sport, and then they turned to drugs and it slowly consumed everything, and they forgot about this thing that used to bring them joy. So you got to find whatever brings you joy, whatever makes you feel alive, and do it with your whole heart. These people that's very into the sourdough, like, you don't save the mother. And,
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a bread pet.
All right. Do you know Rent Strike? The band Rent Strike?
No.
You never heard
Wait,
of them?
I've heard them, yeah, but I don't know any of them. I'm friends with the Harley Poe guys.
Okay, yeah. Well, John from Rent Strike, they're from Michigan.
Okay.
They're also really into sourdough.
She's from Michigan.
Okay, yeah, they're from Lansing. They're very into sourdough, and they're always baking bread for people when we're on tour. It didn't seem weird because I know John's always, I was like, oh, this is just one of these sourdough people that's like always making sourdough bread, so they want to share it with us. And I know how much it means to John to make bread and share it with us, so I was like, this is just, yeah, it's what
No,
it is.
I'm just from Kokomo,
Nice.
hour north of here.
Cool.
Come visit sometime. It's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
There's a reason that we find our friends in dirty basement punk rock shows, and not every day walking down the sidewalk, so they might call us freaks or say we should act our age. All my friends are beautiful, I hope they never ever change.
I kind of had to make a choice. Was I going to be of service of people in the rooms of NA or AA, or was I going to go out in the world and play music and follow that, which was my higher power. And my higher power kind of called me out of the rooms in that way, because I figured that I could reach more people that might never ever find a meeting, you know. I realized I was only ever talking to the 30 or so people that showed up at a meeting a night, and I wanted to reach more than that. I wanted to just be able to share that with more people, you know, whether they were using or had a family member or somebody going through something. My drummer Sabrina behind me, she's been sober for 4 years. She celebrated that on her last tour. I really just try to make sure I say that once during our set, because there was a time when I really needed to hear that from somebody in the punk scene, that was possible. And I'm not super young anymore, but I got sober when I was 24, so the majority of my 20s was sober, and I was doing fucking cool shit, playing punk shows, hanging out with people like you. So first of all, fucking thank you, because full punk saved my life, and this scene saved my life, and continues to every day. And that's the reason I have that many years. And if you ever have questions about that kind of shit, reach out, because me and Sabrina both love talking about what worked for us.